Hello everyone. Well, this is a little informational video on something that happened to me when I was on my solo trip to Las Vegas. Um, so one day I was just walking by. I saw this little area off the side because I went to Treasure Island Hotel. That's where I was staying at. They had this little area off to the side, very colorful. So I thought maybe it was just like them selling tickets to an amusement park, like in Circus or something. And it wasn't. So this lady, she said something to me. I was like, "What'd you say to me, lady?" That's how they caught me in that, okay? And she was like, "Hey, I just wanted to see if you would do free hotel tour." Cool, no problem. And they would give you, a few things. So I sat down and she said, for $50 is a 2-hour hotel tour. They're gonna give you a little presentation and they're gonna give you $200 worth of a casino gaming certificate. They're gonna give you $100 to eat at a restaurant in the Strat Hotel. And they're gonna give you 2 tickets to the comedy club, see a comedy, with also a 3-day, 2-night getaway for your next visit. All I had to pay was $50. Said, all right, it's pretty cheap and I get all these things with it, right? Cool, no problem. So I did it the next morning, since in the mornings I don't really do much in the mornings. So I went in the morning and it turned out to be a timeshare presentation. I don't know very much about timeshare, so I was just listening to them. Being military, they bought in a retired military person, and he was like, yeah, it's a good deal. And, I was military too, so I understand. And he stayed with me the entire time and just talk about vacations and all that, where I've been at, which I've been to many places. And I was like, okay, he's a vet. He's somebody I can trust, He knows where I'm coming from, so we can trust. I can trust him. Wrong. We talked about family. We talk about things we want to do. We talk about everything. Like, we know each other forever, and that's how they pull you in, and say, hey, this and that. And then I was like, okay, so what's the price? This should have been my red flag, and I didn't listen. This should have been my red flag. It came out to $700 a month. That should have been my red flag, and I didn't pay attention. I don't know where my head was at that time, but I didn't pay attention. And we went through the whole process. It took longer than 2 hours. I got there at 9. I didn't leave until almost 2. So it was a long day. And after they went through everything, of course they run your credit and all that. I really didn't pay attention to none of that because I was so busy like talking to them that I wasn't paying attention at all. So while in the process, of course, I text my friend. I said, hey, you had timeshare. What do you think about it? Do you think it's worth it? But she is in a different time zone. So when I had sent her a message, she was still sleeping, unfortunately. So I called my other friend. I was like, hey, you ever hear about timeshare? And she was like, no, but if you think it's worth it, then sure. We don't know about these things. It's not something people teach us, not something I hear about very much either. And so I was like, okay, it seems like a good deal. They gave us a tour of the room, which the room is large, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. They had a balcony, lazy river, there's a pool. And I'm like, wow, this is really good. And of course, I had to sit in the room, talk to a lady, on the computer, and that's when we signed all the documents and everything. After I left, something within me was like, something is off. This don't feel right. I should have listened to my intuition, and I didn't at that time. I went back to my hotel, and then my friend finally hit me back up. She's like, girl, I just woke up. I'm so sorry. Don't do it. It's not worth it, because it took forever for her to get rid of hers, even though it's not the same company, but it's still timeshare. And I was like, damn, girl, you should have told me something earlier. And because you're the only one who knows something about this, and I don't. That night, I was doing so much research. I was YouTubing, I was Googling everything, and everything was pretty much negative. Like, don't ever get timeshare at all. And I was like, damn, what did I do? And so I sat there reading through the contract, and I found a part that says about, cancellation within the rescission period, which on one part it said 7 days, and on the other part it said 5 days. And these are calendar days, not business days. So that means Saturday and Sunday count. And this was a Saturday that I signed it. And luckily, I had my work computer with me. So I pulled it out. I saw an example of a letter online. So I just typed it up with my info in there, the contract number, member number. And in the morning, that's when I was checking out to leave, to go back home. So I had the hotel printed out for me. And I drove back over to wherever I signed them papers at. And I brought a copy and I said, hey, I'm canceling this timeshare. But you were here yesterday, you signed it, you were so happy. Yes. I didn't know what was going on at that time. So now I've done so much research, I need to cancel this today, like right now. And she's like, okay. And she went out and she brought another person in asking me the same thing, like, why you want to cancel? Because it's not for me. I'm a spontaneous person. I'm not going to schedule a vacation a whole year out and pay $700 for something every month that I possibly won't ever use. Nah, I just take regular vacation because this ain't it. She's like, all right, I just need you to write a statement, that you want to cancel it. Already done, ma'am, right here. I had my paper. Of course, I didn't sign it at that time. I didn't sign it before I got there. So I signed it right in front of her. And she said, oh, you're well prepared. I'm like, yep. I had the bag they gave me with, the flash drive and whatever else was in that box. I had all that. I had all those, the certificates, all these were in that bag. Because I'm like, I don't want anything from y'all. I just want to cancel the contract. That's it. And she's like, okay. She got this little paper that said, they'll cancel my contract, but it's only me that signed it. There was nowhere on there for anybody else to sign, just me. I said, all right. As long as my contract gets canceled, then I'm fine. But I left and I got home and I still didn't feel right. So Monday morning, I sent an email to the address, the rescission department. I sent an email with that letter attached, and I sent a certified mail to the address that's on the contract and to the address that's on the cancellation paper, because those are two different addresses. And I sent those off, and I'm like, well, I did everything. Right now, I just gotta wait. But knowing me, I'm not a patient person for certain things. So The next morning, after I sent an email to the person that I was doing the video chat with, I sent an email to her and I said, hey, did y'all get my cancellation? She said, yes, you can call this number and see if it's canceled. So I called that number and they said, yes, your contract is canceled as of Monday, March 9th, 2022. I'm like, all right, but I need proof that it is canceled. They're like, what do you want? Email or mail? I said, send me both. A few days later, I got the email. And then a few days after that, I got the mail. And it pretty much says, per your request, please accept this letter as confirmation that the contract number above has been canceled as of March 9th, 2022. Collection activity has stopped. Now that that is over with, the only thing is this right here. A credit card. I don't like credit cards, so no, what am I gonna do with this? I guess I'll figure that one out. But guys, this is just the story of how I got caught up in this timeshare thing and how I got myself out of it. And I hope this helps somebody make a decision whether it's right for you or not. And I personally believe this is something you'll use after you've retired. You have time to sit around and wait for a room to open and then you can go on your vacation. But it's not for me. Maybe after I retire, years from now, but no. And I hope you take away something from that, you learn something, because I ain't gonna pay $700 a month for something that I'm not gonna use. If you wanna give away your money, that's up to you, okay? And I hope you all have a good day.